going to take an unforgettable journey. Viewer discretion is advised. The incredible Singh.
Sasrikal Ji. This is the one, the only, the incredible Singh. Thank you so much for tuning in to episode number 76. I hope you guys have had a fantastic week. I know I definitely have, and I'm going to tell you all about it. For those first timers, this show is about things that affect us because everything affects us differently. I'll address various topics such as my health tips and fitness tips, current events, and showcase some of my favorite music as well. And I hope to deliver some insight and positively enlighten you to get motivated for enjoying life. So let's get right into it here, guys. So let me tell you a little bit about what I did this past week here. So last week, went to the Sugar Sammy show on October the 5th at the Bell Performing Arts Center here in Surrey. Absolutely fantastic show. It's absolutely hilarious. And I just loved how Sugar is very good at picking different things from the audience. He doesn't have like a set sort of material, I guess you should say. Well, he does, like he has a certain jokes or whatever, but what really made the show entertaining is that he talked to the audience, he got the people involved, he found out little bits and pieces, he made fun of them and all that sort of thing. It was actually really cool. There was one person that worked at a pharmacy, there was one person that was a doctor that got really involved, and that was absolutely hilarious because the doctor, basically they're a general practitioner. The pharmaceutical person basically said their job is to catch all the issues and all the mistakes that the doctor makes in their prescriptions. And then, so the doctor, he goes on and says, well, we only have 5 minutes to see these Indian patients. It's like, why would you say something like that? So, like, Sugar, he went all over that. He's like, well, if you should be doing it right, doing your job right the first time, otherwise you're kind of killing off these people. So I definitely don't see that doctor anymore, because if he's acting like that and making all these mistakes and the pharmaceutical people are catching it, you don't want to see that doctor. You want to go see somebody else. But the funniest part, I think, was there's a few other disses in there. He dissed Kwantlen University. That was actually pretty funny. He actually didn't know Kwantlen what it was, and so he thought it was like a disease or something. I was like, oh my goodness, that is I don't know if that's too much or what it was, but I was just like, man, that's too funny. The best part of the show was the diss on Scottsdale and all the Bob Bay and the Me Too movement. That was just something else. This past weekend is the Thanksgiving long weekend in Canada, so I hope you guys enjoyed some turkey and some stuffing and some gravy. And if you're into the whole cranberry sauce thing, then I hope you had some of that as well. I'm really into mashed potatoes and gravy. Like, it's just something about it. This just pillowy mound of potatoes and cream and butter and salt and a little bit of pepper, a little bit of garlic, and then the gravy mushed in all over on top of it. It's just mucho pani aa gaya, yaar. Oh man, so good. This is so good. But let's keep on moving here. Jazzy B is going to be celebrating the Diwali with the Canucks hockey night with Jazzy B. That's happening on October the 25th at Rogers Arena. So definitely get your tickets, show your colors, all that sort of good thing. It's presented by Share and 24-Hour Collision Center. Jazzy B did this last year, so I was really excited to see that he's doing it again this year. Go to canucks.com/Diwali for more information. And definitely hit up E3 Entertainment because they're the ones that are putting it together. And speaking about Jazzy B, he's one of my top 3 favorite songs for today. We're also going to be looking at Gary Sandhu's song and Arjun, who's also back after his unfortunate loss of his wife. So definitely looking forward to sharing how I feel about those 3 songs done by those artists there. But we're going to talk about the song in 60 seconds a little bit later on in the show, so definitely stay tuned for that. But something really, really special happened with my last one, with episode 75's song in 60 seconds, and that's by G Sidhu, called Dance Floor. The reason why it's so special is because G Sidhu ended up reposting it, and it was I was like, wow, like I honestly, I never expected that. I put it in my Instagram and obviously all my social medias and stuff like that. So it was really fantastic to see that he actually reposted it as well. The dance floor challenge is definitely on, and for those of you who follow me, you probably already seen like the thing that I did with the teddy bear. Probably the only one that did it that eccentrically, but the other people, they're doing it like they're normally doing with the dance floor, or they're partying, or they have a bunch of friends or whatever in the car, stuff like that. So it's actually really cool to see. So thank you, Sidhu, for reposting my stuff. Yeah, absolutely, and you're definitely very welcome, because you know what? Actually, you don't have to thank me. Just the fact that you enjoyed the video that I posted, so that was actually really cool. So let's start off the show. Sidhu, dance floor, right here, right now in the incredible livecast. Alright guys, I gotta really come up with something here for the incredible health tip of the week, some sort of intro or something. So if you got any ideas, definitely hit me up at theincrediblesing@hotmail.com. Let's go into it right now. Cool off without a beer. I don't really drink beer anyway, so this doesn't really pertain to me, but anybody who really does enjoy beer, this is really important. Don't eat carbs for at least 1 hour after exercise, because this will force your body to break down the body fat rather than using the food you ingest. Stick to fruit and fluids during that hour, and 100% avoid beer and alcohol. Like that just kind of messes things up altogether. Now, let's talk about some music here. So this song is by Harleen Singh. Leja Kite Dur is a fantastic track. So I'm going to play it right here, right now for you guys on the Incredible Livecast. Alright guys, so I want to talk about the federal elections. This is actually really huge for Canadians here, because we got Justin Trudeau and Andy Scheer and Jagmeet Singh that are involved with the main top 3 guys that we're looking at here. So, you know, it's hard to say like which way should we go. We already know what Justin Trudeau has been able to do, what he's been able to accomplish, the good things, the bad things. But honestly, if you think about all the prime ministers in the past, it doesn't matter who is elected, they're going to make good decisions, they're going to make bad decisions. They're going to make favorable and as well as undesirable decisions with regards to budgets and all these other different things that are available and come to fruition with that type of power. And even though you're the prime minister, you definitely have to deal with all the people and all the different hate crimes and all the different businesses, business opportunities, rich people, poor people, middle class. You've got a lot riding on your shoulders. So, I mean, at the end of the day, you're human. You do have a lot of people that are supposed to be there to support you. But again, we're all human, right? So some of the decisions that these people make, they're going to be favorable or undesirable or whatever is going to happen. So, you know, one of the biggest things is the ICBC car insurance rates are they're going through the roof. What used to cost you like $1,900 is now costing you $6,000. Like, how ridiculous is that? And that's based off of tenure and stuff like that. You know, that's honestly, it's really unfair for, you know, those type of people that are in that position, because anybody who's a new driver, you basically can't get a car. You can't insure a car. You can't afford insuring a car. So is that a way to help reduce the amount of traffic on the road? What does this really mean? Because this monopoly that ICBC has, not allowing, you know, you basically have to be rich to be able to drive. You know what I mean? It's absolutely crazy how they have this set up here now. So my insurance, I have no idea what it's going to be yet. Mine's coming up here in December, so I still got a couple months to be like, okay, am I still going to be, you know, having some sort of a discount? Am I going to be looking at the same thing? Is it going to go up? I'm pretty sure it will. Just, you know, like, you got to have like, what, 20 years of a clean record. And, you know, being in Vancouver, you know, it's possible to get that. It's not impossible, okay? So you can definitely get that. But if you're on the road all the time and you're always out there, always doing things, well, you may be a good driver. You may be successful at being able to wheel and deal and wind and not get hit and whatnot. But then there's some things where you just really can't control. So if somebody sideswipes you, somebody hits you from behind, somebody is doing some silly thing where you end up hitting them because you're not able to react fast enough because they're coming in your way a little bit too quickly. So where does the line get drawn? So apparently ICBC and the insurance adjusters apparently are very good at what they do. I mean, they have to be in that position in the first place. But again, they're human, right? These people can make mistakes. I didn't want to turn this into like a whole ICBC thing. There's other things I wanted to talk about here, which I'll just shut up and start doing this next piece here. So let's talk about the Massey Tunnel, the bridge project that screwed up or delayed or whatever. For whatever reason, they're delaying it even further. So those people that are using the Massey Tunnel still continue using the Massey Tunnel as you have been. The bridge project is now delayed, which I think is a little bit ridiculous, to be quite honest. That makes a huge difference in terms of commute and traffic. But at the same time, if the whole point is to reduce the number of drivers on the road by increasing insurance rates, then that's something to be said. And it's all coming down to the federal elections, you know what I mean? There was these are unfavorable decisions that were made. And the other thing that I didn't think that was that big of a deal was the whole tram system that was going to be happening on King George Highway. That whole project got scrapped altogether. So the people that use the bus system on a regular basis, they're the ones that are definitely affected. And how many people use the bus? How many people want to use the bus? Because look at how long it would take to get, just for example, if you want to get from, my neighborhood, if you want to get from there to, let's say, Metrotown, right? Metrotown is a very popular area to get to, but there's not enough buses and trams running around over here. There's no trams at all, sorry. There's not enough buses that take you from here to there, which makes it very, very difficult to get there. Honestly, if you drive in a car, it's going to take you 30 minutes, 25 to 45 minutes, depending on traffic. But if you take a bus and you take the SkyTrain, it's going to take about an hour to an hour and a half to get there. And that's just a regular commute. That's a very, very long time to get to where you need to get to. And then on top of that, you got to wait. So even if you go and you wait at the bus stop and you're waiting for the bus, sometimes you have to wait 20 minutes, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, an hour, hour and a half, because there's not enough buses running in this area. Why aren't there more buses? Because there's not enough people taking it. Why aren't enough people taking it? Because there's not enough buses to be running in the area. So it's a whole cycle, right? And they're charging $2,500 a year for an annual subscription so you can get around in the Vancouver area. Well, not to compare with other places around the world, but I mean, that's very expensive to be commuting on a public service that should be available for a much lower cost, in my opinion. But that's the beauty of living in beautiful BC. It's full of tax and full of expenses, and it's super expensive. Everything is expensive. So that's where we are at with Justin Trudeau. Andy Scheer, he says he's going to lower this, that, the other. The whole debate that happened, what was this, a couple of days ago. I didn't watch it myself, but I've seen all over social media, people talking about it and all that sort of thing. And it's absolutely ridiculous how Scheer and Trudeau went back and forth. You're going to be terrible at this. You're going to be terrible at this, that, the other. And it was funny because Jagmeet Singh was basically in there saying, well, you guys are going to be terrible at whatever things, but here's where I'm going to be good at blah, 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 blah. So I was like, okay, well, this is actually getting somewhere. But where was the moderator? What was the moderator doing? Who knows what they were doing? They were getting dully. They were high off of the weed probably. And so they didn't really care. They just wanted to watch the Masha just kind of play out and see what happened. But, the whole point of all of this is, guys, you got to vote. You got to pick somebody, because if you don't, then, think about the percentages, right? Percentage of people who don't vote could have made that sway in the voting process to a different candidate altogether, right? If we wanted somebody else to be Prime Minister of Canada, then yeah, you gotta vote. If you got option number 4, who is, I don't even know what the parties are right now. I haven't paid that much attention. I apologize. I should be a little bit more aware of these things. But, you know, I've already kind of made my decision of where I'm going to place my vote. I'm not going to put my bias on you guys there. You have to make the decision for yourselves. So all I'm saying is that you need to vote. Pick somebody, pick something, do something, because, you know, every community is different. Every different opportunity that is missed. Wayne Gretzky said it, right? If you don't take the shot, how do you expect to score? If you don't vote, how do you expect things to change or be better? Whether you believe it or not, you definitely have to vote. You gotta say your piece. Because if you don't, who else is going to do it? You know what I mean? Like, you're going to go off of the neighbor's opinion and that's good enough? Well, no, everybody has an opinion and your opinion counts. So definitely do your vote. You've got the pre-voting that's available right now. And I don't know what the exact dates are, but I have the little card. So I'm going to make sure that I put in my vote. I want to go early. I don't want to like waste too much time, get that done. But I'm rambling on. Let's move on to some music here. I'm going to play Bups Saggu, which is obviously one of my favorite artists and favorite producers. Milky is the song right here, right now. It's time for the incredible fitness tip of the week. I don't know, maybe I'll use that. I don't know, we'll see. Use gymwear as motivation. Buy a new workout top or a headband or a piece of equipment or something that will help you actually get motivated for using it and actually doing something with it. So something to think about. I haven't really done that personally, but it's something that I'm definitely considering doing now. So I just, actually, you know what? I did do that. I bought a new pair of shoes and I'm like, yeah, I want to check these out right away. I went to the gym that day. So yeah, it actually works. But let's play Arjun, Deep Money, Milan right here from the kitchen. Does that work? The music kitchen? We'll see what happens. Go! Oh mekya ji kidda? This is the one, the only, the incredible Singh, and now it's time for my favorite part of the show. My favorite top 3 songs that I picked. The first one goes to Gary Sandhu, featuring Manpreet Tour in the track called Like You, Tere Jaisi. Gary Sandhu is back to bring this amazing track featuring the fabulously talented Manpreet Tour. The lyrics are simple to understand, but the finesse that Gary spins out is nothing less than amazing. So I'll definitely play a clip of that. The second song, like I said at the top of the show, is going to be by Jazzy B, Apache Indian. Sukhe did the music on that one. The track is called Dil Mangdi. And what an amazing combination with Jazzy B and Apache Indian coming together to create magic with Sukhe's fantastic musical skills. And what really stood out for me on this one is the clothing styles in the video. They're definitely off the charts. So I'll play a clip of that track as well. And the third song is by Arjun and Mickey Singh called Tingo. This is actually a really cool dance track. And these guys deliver a fun hookup type of a song that anybody can jam to, in my opinion. I thought that the golf theme was well played. And Mickey definitely showed off his playful side. So I thought that was actually really cool. So I'll play a clip of each one of those tracks. And then on the other side, I'll let you know what my favorite song is. Yo, 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 this is the one, the only, the incredible Singh, and this week's song in 60 seconds goes to Jazzy B, Apache Indian, Sukhe, Dil Mangdi. Jazzy B and Apache Indian tag teaming on this track put all the right cards in to win the jackpot. So many things are blowing my mind, such as the clothing and the direction by Devang Desai, the beat dropped by Sukhe, the lyrics written by Johnny and Natasha Shuri. She is so fine, my eyes popped out like Wile E. Coyote. But I honestly gotta say the favorite part for me is the retro scene in the second half of the video, because it's a presentation of the props and the background items that makes this so special. That's why Jazzy B is the crown prince of Bhangra. That's why Apache Indian is world renowned. The entire song was put together on a silver platter for you guys. And that's why Dil Mangdi is this week's song in 60 seconds. If you don't know who Walt Disney is, then something's wrong. Like, you got to figure out who this guy is. And he had this to say: all our dreams can come true if we have the courage to pursue them. The point is, sometimes you need to take a chance. Sometimes you need to make a sacrifice. Sometimes you need to get uncomfortable to make yourself truly happy. And I try to make my dreams come true as much as possible. So now I'm going to play a track called Area by Bunny Gill and Intense right here, right now on the incredible Livecast. So I recently watched a TED Talks about addiction is not a disease, but rather it's an escape from a painful reality. So there's a rat experiment that was done. Basically, it's just a box. One side is water, the other side was heroin, and that's exactly what happened. There was nothing for the rat to do, so it went straight to the heroin, back, forth, back, and back, and back, and back, and back. Then the experiment also called for things to do. There's a bunch of play little thingies, and there's other rats in the cage as well. So same thing, one side was water and one side was heroin, and all the rats that were in there, they ended up going to the water. They actually didn't want to have the heroin, because when they had it, then they weren't able to enjoy all the different things that were available to play with in the little gym thing that they had there set up. That's very important for us to really understand what addiction is and what it means to us, because there's some people that have had a lot of trauma in their life, and this is essentially just an escape from their reality, whereas others have found a way to really cope with these things by getting a hobby of some sort as well. So I can definitely say that I'm part of that, because you know, like, I've had some issues in my life, and you know, certain things that causes stress as I was growing up. And instead of turning to things like weed and smoking and alcohol, things like, I mean, I drink alcohol, but like not to that extent where I'm abusing it. But I found a hobby. I found Bhangra that really made me happy, and I didn't want to be all messed up to go to that, because that's where I was able to express myself, not only mentally but also emotionally, with all the different people, the different interactions, the dancing, the exercise, like a bunch of different things, and the excitement of competing and going to these competitions and all that sort of stuff. Like, I just wanted to be fully engaged and fully aware of what was going on in those scenarios and situations. So I definitely say that that was a huge help for me and a huge lift for me. And then anybody else that was part of the team that we coached or whatnot, you know, I hope that we were able to help you out and keep away from these type of things too. People with addictions need to be given a purpose, an environment where they can be successful and enjoy doing it. Everybody is different. Obviously, for me, Bhangra was my thing, but other people, you know, maybe music is their thing, maybe painting is their thing, maybe doing arts and crafts is their thing, maybe bowling is their thing. I don't know, like, whatever it is, you know what I'm saying? So you can't really put a blanket solution on this. I would like to see a human experiment, if it ever gets approved, to do something like that instead of a rat experiment that was in the TED Talks. Like I said, it probably won't save everybody, but hopefully it saves more people than expected, you know what I'm saying? So when you're down on East Hastings and you see all the people on the street just kind of going like this, and like kind of like shipping and shaking and all that sort of thing, you know, think about, you know, what happened in their life for them to get to that point. What was going on that was so bad that made them revert to that? The whole point I'm trying to say is there's better ways to deal with this problem, instead of shunning these people and placing judgment when they really actually just need some help. So I'm going to leave that at that point there. From the control station, we're going to play some DJ Sanj, Tere Husn De Mare. Alright guys, be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, email, theincrediblesing@hotmail.com, and I'm also on Snapchat as well, so I started posting a little bit of here and there on there. Still figuring it out as we go. Let's keep back with the music here. Jazzy Sidhu, Del Totda. Alright guys, it's time for the end of the show. Episode 76 is now coming to the close. Thank you guys so much for tuning in and listening to the episode. I really do appreciate that. For everybody, you know, the federal elections, like I said, it's very important that you vote. Your opinion absolutely does matter. If you don't vote, your opinion doesn't count. So hopefully you choose to vote. Number 2, Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I hope you enjoyed some turkey and stuffing and gravy and mashed potatoes and corn and all that sort of good stuff there. And Halloween is coming up, October the 31st. It's going to be a Thursday night. So I hope you got your costume ready, and I hope you got your decorations all ready to go. We're going big, y'all. I'm the Incredible Singh. Thank you so much once again. Love you guys. Stay positive, stay focused, and stay blessed.